2005, and I still ate cheese, lots of cheese, lots and lots and lots of cheese. Cheese was kind of almost another addiction for me. But last summer, I decided to go vegan. It was something I'd wanted to do for a really long time. I felt that my actions weren't matching my morals and my beliefs, because the main reason that I'd gone vegetarian in the first place was for ethical and environmental reasons, even though it did have a lot of health benefits for me once I figured out how to do it correctly and not just eat French fries and vegetarian pizza. Once I figured out how to do it correctly, it did have a lot of health benefits, but consuming dairy still had all of the same repercussions that had made me quit eating meat. And again, it was that cognitive dissonance that I was telling myself, oh, well, they're not dying. Yeah, they freaking are. It's really like the whole industry is interconnected. So that was a big thing for me. And then I noticed after that there was a lot more mental clarity. Like I had a lot more mental clarity, a lot less brain fog. My skin started clearing out. See, I don't know if you can see my beautiful skin. All your listeners can't, but you can see my beautiful skin now. My skin started clearing up. I had a lot more energy. That was huge for me. And interestingly enough, it actually really helped my sleep. I mean, there were some other things that I'd implemented at that time too, but I feel like that really kind of helped my sleep, because when you eat dairy or meat, it does cause inflammation. It is hard to digest. They've proven that the good majority of human adults cannot digest dairy because we don't produce the enzyme necessary to digest that. We don't produce what's necessary that babies produce to digest that. So it really helped a lot physically and mentally. So bridging that gap again between mental and physical health. I really had to rearrange my relationship with alcohol. Not because I was an alcoholic. I would never have really labeled myself as that, except maybe as a teenager. I drank a lot of alcohol as a teenager. But I found myself turning a lot to it when I was depressed. It wasn't necessarily that I was having a lot of it, but even if I was having a glass or two of wine or of Angry Orchard or whatever my drink of choice was in that moment, I really felt the impact. Once I really started becoming mindful of my body and more intuitive to, what triggered my emotions and stuff, I started noticing that I drink because I had had a bad day. That's kind of always the thing, is I had a whole long, hard day and I deserve this glass of wine. What you really deserve is to take care of your body and mind. What you really deserve is to feel good. And that glass of wine or whatever it was never really made me feel good. It might have brought down the intensity for a little bit, but once I stopped for the evening, once I laid down in bed, then my mind started racing. I never felt better for having drank it. So it's not that I quit drinking per se. I do still have a glass here and there, but I had to set down some regulations for myself about how and when I was going to drink. And my biggest one was never doing it when I was in a state of anxiety or when I was feeling upset. Limiting social media was another huge one. I really had to, again, change the relationship I had with social media. I do a lot of my business on Instagram and Facebook, so it wasn't something that I could get rid of entirely, but I didn't need to be checking my updates every 5 minutes. I didn't need to have all these buzz going off on my phone all the time. Yeah. So that was another thing that was really important for me to change. Really just finding out what needed to be eliminated from my life. I really there was a quote about, they were asking Michelangelo when he looked at the block of marble, how he saw David in that, like how he created something from that block of marble. And I don't know if this is a real quote from Michelangelo, but the story gets across either way. But he just said, well, I just get rid of what isn't David. I just, chip away what isn't David. And that kind of made a lot of sense to me at the time, because it's really a matter of getting rid of the things that aren't you, that aren't healthy. So if you're looking at yourself and you imagine, this is what the healthiest version of me looks like mentally and physically. This is what health looks like to me, because it is different to everybody. Health is a different thing for everybody. For somebody who has an addiction, it just might be being clean. For somebody who wants to run a marathon, I mean, they're going to have to work on certain strength training and stuff. Some people it might be flexibility. Some people it might just be getting cardio in every day. It's different for everybody.
So what I think is absolutely amazing in this is you've kind of broken down a bit how you looked at your own life and your own, your own reactions to things and analyzed what was not working, what wasn't making you happy, and then found rules and guidelines to do that. What's happening now with a lot of people, whether or not they're out of work, we're all under this new world that nobody really is used to with what's happening with the pandemic, and we're all in a new set of circumstances, which come with various stresses, both physical and mental. A lot of us are confined to our apartments and houses. We're being asked to stay away from people physically as well as sometimes socially. So there's a lot of things that are happening, which can lead to bad habits coming up, whether it's coping mechanisms for food or drink or anything else. So how, especially in these circumstances, how would you recommend people first kind of examine what they don't like, and then how to kind of create rules and guidelines to be more positive, whether it's like physical or mental?
A lot of it is really checking in with yourself. I've seen two types of people during this pandemic.
Sure.
One is the person that says, oh my God, the sky is falling and the world's ending and everybody's dying, and I'm going to use this as an excuse to sit in my apartment or my house or whatever and binge watch Netflix and eat the pasta with the cookie dough in it. Like just complete and utter meltdown in their minds. But then there's the people that are saying, hey, I've been given this break, I've been given this time to really reassess myself, to really start getting into those positive habits. Because let's be honest, we're going to be in this for at least the next few weeks. We're going to be in this long enough to create new positive habits in our lives. And if during this time we start doing that, we start adding positive things, by the time we get back to our normally scheduled programs, then we're going to be more apt to keep those things because we're going to see how good they feel. So if you're adding right now, a lot of people have been wanting to add a little bit more fitness because they're confined to their houses, they don't know what else to do, and they want to feel good.
Yeah.
So like I was saying before, I think we all know deep inside, I think we know what we need to do. I think we know what is right for ourselves, for our bodies. I think it's basic knowledge that we need to eat healthy and stay active to be healthy, to really have optimal mental and physical health. We need to be active. We need to be eating a balanced diet that is mostly plant-based, legumes, beans, fruits, vegetables, whatever. We know that deep inside.
Yeah.
We know that we shouldn't be spending 3 hours, actually 4 hours, I believe it's 4 hours and 12 minutes, something to that effect, is the average time people spend on their phone and social media. Over 4 hours a day.
I believe
now,
it.
what in that is healthy? We all know that that's nothing good is going to come out of that. All you're going to do is compare yourself to other people. You're going to sit there and see what they don't have. So one of the things that I really have been encouraging people to do during this time is limit screen time. So I know that's difficult, but this is the time to really, you'd be knocking out those projects, you'd be spending time with your family. And I don't mean screen time necessarily as your kids can't watch a movie with you, or you can't watch a couple episodes of your Netflix show, or for me I watched a few episodes of my soap opera yesterday because I am shamelessly addicted to The Bold and the Beautiful. So I've been 2 weeks behind. I just hadn't been watching it during this time. I've been having other priorities, but yesterday I said, okay, I'm going to treat myself, sat down and watched it. And the difference being is I was really mindful about that decision. I said, you know what, right now I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch the show because it's going to make me feel good, and I'm just going to enjoy it. I've already taken care of the things I need to take care of today, and now I'm going to enjoy my show. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the huge difference when it comes to screen time and social media and stuff. There's nothing wrong with going on and connecting with your friends. As a matter of fact, it's really healthy during this time. People keep saying social distancing when I actually prefer to call it physical distancing, because I've had more connections now with my friends, with clients, with, prospective business connections and stuff. I get more social connection now than I have in the last several years but I don't have to go out and physically interact with those people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's kind of this expectation that, you know, we have to do that. No, we can absolutely be social. And there's nothing wrong, like I said, with getting on social media and doing that. But just being mindful why you're on it, not letting yourself fall into the fiery pits of the Facebook feed or the Instagram feed or whatever.
Right.
Because there's nothing good there, I promise you. There's not a lot of things that are worthy in the comment sections or in social media feeds that you couldn't find somewhere else. I made it a point, actually, that I only, on Facebook will follow either French groups or artists that I really, really admire, or positive thinking individuals and stuff, like positive thinking groups and stuff. And I actually eradicated my feed anyway. So when I log into Facebook on my computer, my feed is just positive quotes. That's all it is. It will just have a positive quote at the top. So really limiting screen time, and a big reason being, especially right now, it's always been an issue that we're bombarded with the news. You know, every day it's just right in your face. Just, I'm gonna shove this right down your throat, like, oh. But now it's even worse because while there are some people that are really being proactive about sharing good news, for the most part, I'm going to ram every last freaking update about the coronavirus so far down your throat that you're going to be choking to death on it. And absolutely stay informed. Don't get me wrong, stay informed. It's very important to know what, you know, the guidelines and stuff are right now to make sure that we're taking action against this virus. But limit it to maybe 15 minutes a day of checking on the news and stuff, and be done. Like, time it, check it, be done. Staying informed does not mean being drowned in the news constantly. My other big suggestion during this time that really helped me was getting back into the hobbies that I didn't used to have time for, or just really finding hobbies that you enjoy. I've been practicing my French more. There are a couple YouTube channels that I really enjoy, but it's not anything that's going to make me feel negative. For me, I really like CinemaSins and Ryan George. He does these pitch meetings. They're hilarious. If you guys haven't checked him out. I'm not paid to say this. I just really, really love those channels. Totally not getting monetized. Maybe I should. But just finding things, if you are going to be on your computer, if that's something that you do enjoy doing, just being mindful about how you're spending your time on there. I have been getting to read again, and I forgot how much I love reading. I grew up, by the time I hit second grade, I was reading on a sixth grade level. I loved reading. But as we are adults, as we get older, it's kind of something that's fallen to the wayside. And for the record, I mean an actual physical book. I like staring at dead trees and hallucinating for hours on end. I don't like looking at electronics, because I just think that if you're going to read a story, if you're going to get off your devices and read a story, get off your devices and go read a freaking book. Right. That's just my own personal preference. But there's been so many things that I've been able to do that I wasn't able to before. I've got so much cleaning done, which actually brings me into my next point, in creating a positive environment. So some of us are, I don't know, where all of your listeners are, but some of us are completely confined. I am fortunate enough not to be. But I have had a lot of friends and clients that are completely confined to their home. And this is a really good time. You spend a lot of time at home anyway, even when you're not in a pandemic, you spend a lot of time at home. And this is a really good time to go through your house, get rid of things that don't make you happy, get rid of things that don't serve you anymore, that are just clutter around the house. It's a good time to sort through and get all that extra crud out of your life, because it's not doing you any good. It's just bogging you down. And adding things, on the same token, adding things that bring you peace, that can help you de-stress. That might be an oil diffuser, that might be some candles. My really close friend, I'm a big Zelda nerd. I play The Legend of Zelda. I love The Legend of Zelda. Played it since I was a kid. Have a Triforce tattoo on the back of my hand. Total geek. But one of my really close friends had bought me Majora's Mask, like an actual replica of Majora's Mask. And I have it on my wall in my den, and it's such an awesome thing, because every time I look at it, not only do I think of how cool my friend is, but then I think of all these childhood memories that I had playing it. And I had been watching, when I run at the gym, when I was on the treadmill, I've been watching Let's Play in French of Majora's Mask. Mm-hmm. So I get to hear this guy rage quit in French. It's the greatest thing. But just having all those great memories. Have things out that bring good memories to you.